Hi, I'm Amber and I am so excited for my ex-husband, Johnny Depp's movie, The Professor. I feel really honored that Johnny Depp chose me because, as you know, fresh from the drama about our famous trial, and also Johnny's own controversy, more on that later, there will be major spoilers, so let's get started. The main character played by my Johnny is a literature professor named Richard. He went to the doctor's office and finds out that he is very ill with lung cancer. The doctor reports that without treatment, Richard will last 6 months. Richard is very depressed when he comes to work as he tries to come to terms and understand that this is actually happening to him. As a result, he breaks down. At a family dinner, Richard is sitting at the table with his daughter, Olivia, and his wife, Veronica. Olivia admits that she is interested in girls. Her parents laugh and her mother says that it will pass. Richard tries to support his daughter. Mother and daughter argues, which prompts Olivia to leave resentfully. Veronica reveals that she is cheating with Richard's boss Henry. Richard didn't get why Henry? He is the most disgusting person, according to Richard. Henry has 3 balls and she likes it, Veronica replies. Before she leaves, she asks what Richard wanted to confess a while ago. Without thinking twice, Richard laughs off that he wanted to tell his regrets as he doesn't have 3 balls. At a college lecture, Richard lists the students' quality whom he wants to teach in the class, and those who do not possess these qualities see a go. Those who leaves will automatically get a 3, but those who remain will have to give a lecture by reading just only 1 book. Almost all students leave their seats feeling humiliated. Richard looks at those who have stayed and notices a feminist among them. He does not care about feminism, Richard declares, and he does not want to hear about gender inequality issues. Richard says that the class is cancelled. Before he leaves, he told them if anyone knows where to get weed, he will be happy to meet that person in his office. His students perplexed as Richard closes the door. Later, Richard drinks at the bar with his best friend, Peter. Richard asks for suggestions about sabbatical. Peter asks what he needs a vacation for. Richard confessed about his cancer. Peter began to worry a lot and tried to calm Richard down. Next day, Richard asked his wife not to tell their daughter about their marriage issues. Richard gives his wife freedom in return along with her affair. Richard himself doesn't want to faithful as well. They had a nice agreement as they get drunk and take drugs. Olivia arrives with her girlfriend and found her parents not in the best condition. Olivia leaves with her girlfriend ashamed of her parents. Richard and Veronica continue to drink in bed during the night. She regrets that she did not support her daughter's confession. During lecture, Richard asks the students for a smoke, although he has never tried it before. He gives the cigarette away after the first puff and asks the students to forget about this. Richard meets one of his students, Claire, Henry's niece, with whom Veronica is having an affair with. Claire immediately declares that she doesn't like her uncle. The professor invited his students to go for a night out, where he shares his wisdom with Theme. Waitress approaches, and Richard starts flirting with her, which she gladly reciprocates. He raises a toast and says he needs to cheat on his wife in the toilet tonight. He went to the bathroom to bang the waitress. Richard returns to the table and told the students to tip the waitress. He likes this new life, as he tasks his feminist student to read Moby Dick. His students are perplexed by this behavior. At dinner time, Richard suggested Veronica to apologize to their daughter, which Olivia gladly accepts. The next day, the feminist student has a lecture in front of her class, as she expresses her opinion about what she read. Richard assumes that she changed for the better and goes to the office. Later, a male student shows up with cupcakes. The young man offers Richard intimacy, which the professor agrees. Later at night, Richard talks to his daughter and asks her if she is happy being with girl, and Olivia assures him that everything perfectly fine. Richard continues to engage in drugs and alcohol with his students as they go to the lawn in front of the school. Peter, witnessing Richard's self-destruction, leads him to a cancer patient's support group. After listening to people's confession, Richard declares everyone is wasting their remaining time. He told them that the last days should be spent having fun and offers them to have try it. They all refuse to his offer, however, so he wishes everyone good luck and leaves with Peter, and they both get drunk. Richard told Peter that he decides to travel the world and not waiting idly for his end. Claire interrupted them, who happened to be at the bar. Richard called a taxi for a drunk Peter and he with Claire at the bar. He decided to tell her about the diagnosis. After listening to Richard, Claire begins to admire him. She asked to dance and about to kiss him. However, Richard is so drunk and passed out. He wakes up in the hospital and soon get discharged. When he arrived home, Veronica asks him where he was all night, but Richard ignores her. Following day, Henry threatened to dismiss Richard at the school because of his recent behavior, which Richard retaliates by telling Henry that he knows about his affair with Veronica. As he can't fire Richard, Henry has no choice but to approve the professor's request for sabbatical. At the school, Claire is speaking to class, shares that love plays an important role in their lives. Richard supplements this by suggesting everyone should live their life as they wish, or live life in vain. Richard becomes ill suddenly. Peter arrives as he cannot stand on his feet. He invites him to pray, as if saying farewell to his friend. Richard shares his experiences in life as Peter tries to hold back tears. Richard arranged for a corporate dinner. Richard notices Henry kiss his wife in front of him. As he make a toast, he tells everyone about his cancer diagnosis, and adds that Henry and his wife has an affair. Despite his wife's cheating, Richard still loves her. Richard retires with Veronica to say goodbye. At home, Olivia returns home sadly as she confessed about her girlfriend cheating on her. Richard supports her, pour his daughter a whiskey as he confessed about his illness. Richard give her a farewell kiss and leaves so that his family doesn't his impending death. He stops at an intersection and drives straight out of the road. On breaking down the story, this movie basically depicts the question, what would you do in your remaining days on Earth? Richard chose to live his life to the full, as most people would do. Fortunately, he has the luxury of choice to do it, as most people doesn't have the means to enjoy their life. Apparently, this is probably what Johnny is doing right now. Living life to the fullest, despite the drama and latest controversy on his life, which I decided not to delve into right now. Thanks for watching this video recap, and please subscribe to this channel, like and click the notification bell. And by the way, I'm actually just the voice narrator here. I'm not the real Amber Heard.